Hey everybody, it's Casual Poops coming at you with another video, and today we're doing Advent Calendar Day 16, and for Day 16 it is the M54 Renegade, the Tier 8 American heavy tank, and it is not a deal, 9,300 gold. Do I think the tank is good? Yes. Do I think you should buy this tank? Yes. The Renegade is probably one of the best Tier 8 heavy tanks. Yeah, probably one of the best Tier 8 heavy tanks in the game. I will definitely say that the Skoda has a lot of carry potential as well, but this thing, I think the Renegade might even be better, only because it is so flexible and the gun is so well behaved. The Renegade is very fast, and it just has. You know what? I'll just show you the stats. So there are a lot of American Tier 8 premium heavy tanks, as you can see. The Renegade is easily the best of them all. But yeah, so it's got 360 alpha, which is below average, but pretty decent DPM as well. 226 standard pen is fine, totally acceptable, and it gets a premium round that's 255, which again on APCR, by the way, so you won't get trolled by tracks or spaced armor or anything like that. So it's very, very good. And 1385, like the shell velocity is great. Standard shell velocity being 1,000 is also fine. The soft stats are great. For a heavy tank, this gun feels like a medium tank, and the final dispersion is also fine. Top speed of 45 is fine, but you can if you have equipment, you could put mobility equipment on this, and that wouldn't be wrong. But I would definitely say that it just feels snappy. It feels like a slow medium tank, not a heavy tank. And yeah, 10 degrees of gun depression is excellent. 400 base view range because balance. It's got a 4-man crew, so it trains all your higher tier American heavy tanks. It's just comfort. It's just a very comfortable tank. The armor profile is very solid. The turret is way better than the Mivi. It has the cupola that you need to be aware of, right? But one thing that's better about this armor profile than the Mivi, and I didn't think about this when I did the review for the Mivi, but because this is a conventional turret, when you point the gun down and you're working a ridge, you're making the cupola more angled and you're making it harder to see, and so it's actually you're actually making your weak spot less weak, as compared to something like a Mivi, where you will let me see here, click the button. Mivi, because it is on a trunnion, right, and you point the gun down and the cupola goes with it, so there's never a point where you can not see the cupola, and it's always flat to the enemy. So that's just so I thought that, anyways, the armor profile is substantially better than or better than the Mivi, I think. And it's snappy. It's good. You don't need to sit and expose. As long as, I will say, for a new player, you definitely need to be aware of how to hide the cupola and how best to make the tank work so that you're not exposing the cupola all over the place. But overall, I think the tank is probably, again, very, very solid. If you even think that you might want to consider running heavy tanks, this is a fantastic buy. It's just really good. There's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, the Skoda has the DPM and the clip potential and stuff, but this thing is faster and it actually hits the things you aim at. And so I think that, for the all around, right, the carry potential, this tank is probably better, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, it's better than the Skoda. I'm doing it now. In some ways, there's my caveat. In some ways, the Skoda is better, and in some ways, the Skoda is a tier 9. But in overall, like tier 8 tanks that are like flexible game carrying capacity, I think the Renegade wins, and it's solid. So I would say for this one, you should run a fairly standard setup, because you don't need great, like, it doesn't take a lot of work to get the view range to be decent. Like it has 400 base, so if your crew is brothers in arms and vents, will get you almost to 445 already. And if you have just any of the view range skills, you're getting really close without optics at all. So if you have both view range skills, you can get there with vents. But again, just like the Mivi, you can one of the things, what I did with this is I got kind of I wanted to min-max the gun handling, so I did this to really get the gun to where it was well behaved and did exactly what I wanted it to do. And I was willing to actually run food on it too, because I'm a tryhard. And so this is my setup. And so the gun is an absolute laser beam, and it can shoot exactly what I wanted to shoot. And it's always aimed in, and it still goes 45. So this is what I do, but this isn't for everybody. You can also run a turbo on there, and it actually, notice, it actually does do 50. And this is the setup I would run for that. So there's a lot of ways to run this, and I don't think that any of them are wrong necessarily, because it's just such a good tank. And yeah, I've talked enough. It's good. So if you don't have this thing, you should buy it. And yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye.